Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this here. But I wanted to welcome you to this session of In the Inbox. My name is Rachel Jensen, broker owner of Luna Realty Belize. Ambergris Key is where I call home. I have for the last 11 years, and I'm very happy and excited to talk to you about the real estate industry here in Belize, what's going on, and of course, answer your questions. In this session, that is exactly what we do. We answer the questions that have been asked along the line by folks who are also looking at properties here in the country. So with that, we're going to just get started. This is question number 13 from Jake M. And he asks, what expenses should I consider when buying a rental property? So over our last few questions here, we have been focusing on rental properties. I'm finding that a lot of people are coming to Belize with the intention of picking up an investment property. Maybe they'll have it as an investment property or rental property for the next 5, 10, 15 years, live in it, come and go as they please. There's really a lot of possibility here when owning properties. So we're going to focus on the expenses that are important for you to consider, for you to bear in mind. So right from the get-go, I do want to mention rental management fees. So these range depending on whether you have your property in a nightly vacation rental or if you're doing a long-term rental. Nightly is typically nightly, as you can expect. Think of it as the vacation rental. Long-term is typically defined as 6 months or more. So depending on how much work the company needs to do, typically they do need to do more when it comes to a nightly rental. So they'll charge you higher rental management fees compared to a long-term where they have a long-term tenant in it. Maybe they just need to do some bookkeeping items for you, do some general cleanup around, or just check in on a tenant every now and again. So in that case, they would charge less. For nightly rental management, you can expect anywhere from 20 to 50%, long-term anywhere from 10 to 20%. I know that's a very big range. We did a session on this last week specifically about rental management fees. So I do recommend that you reach out to and look for question number 12, which is where we dig a little bit deeper into what's usually included in the rental management fees. Now, usually not included in the rental management fee is the booking agent fee. This is what we call the OTA fee. OTA stands for online travel agencies. So that can be booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, however it is that the rental management company is advertising and bringing rentals in. It could be a person who's acting as a rental or as a booking agent. It could be really just a large variety of means for them to get rentals in. So this is typically not included in the rental management fee. And I do like to mention that because sometimes people are shocked when it's not. And obviously you can see it's a fairly big percentage of your gross there. So you do want to make sure you're asking that question, is the booking agent fee included? And if it's not, you have to factor this number into your P&Ls. With that also being said, if they don't have a booking agent fee, ask them how it is that they are getting rentals and how it is that they're bringing people in. Because if they're not on that Expedia or booking.com, there's probably a loss opportunity there for income. Also, property tax here is fairly minimal. So for example, for a lot of land, we'll say about 1/10 of an acre, you're looking at about 45 US dollars a year. Average 2-bedroom, you're looking at about $375 to $500 a year. Just for reference, all of the prices that you see on the screen here are in US dollar. All right, continuing on there, income tax 1.75% gross in Belize. You will have to check with your accountant in your home country to see if you're going to get charged income tax in your home country for your property in Belize. Unfortunately, some countries do still tax you for your properties outside of your home country. Credit card fee, I'd say this is up to 5.5%. Typically, Amex has a very high card fee, so that's why a lot of places here don't tend to take cards. Typically for Visa or MasterCard, it'll be in that 3.5% to 4% range, and this is of the gross. Insurance is not typically mandatory, but it is obviously something that is good to have just in case there is anything that pops up. You will tend to find that concrete homes, because of the fact they're made of concrete versus wood, do tend to be less to insure on an annual basis compared to wood. I've seen the general concrete cost for insurance for concrete insurance homes for a 2-bedroom ranging from about 900 to 1,800 US per year. And wood, I've seen it from anywhere from 3,500 to about $5,000 a year. Again, this is for an average 2-bedroom wooden structure. Also, bear in mind your electricity costs. Are you on a public electricity? Are you on solar? If you're on solar, you do need to bear in mind costs to perhaps replace batteries, perhaps replace panels. Are you on a combo? I've seen some hybrid properties. So they're connected to solar during the day and then hook up to the grid at night. Typically for electricity and water, you can request the bill if the property has been occupied previously. You can request the bill to see what they've paid historically, just to get a realistic number in mind. Water, typically you are on public or off-grid. Typically you'll find public water in San Pedro town area. Once you go north of the bridge, then you're off-grid, and typically you find water catchment systems, reverse osmosis systems, filtration systems here. So you do need to bear in mind how it is that you're getting your water. And if you are off-grid, are you going to need to replace cisterns every now and again? Do you need to replace the filtration system every now and again? How long is the longevity of that RO system? And these are great questions to ask if you are off grid. Is when was the last time that the filtration system was cleaned or replaced? Questions like that are super helpful, especially when you're projecting future expenses. All right, continuing on here, expenses. Also, if you're in a condo or you have an association fee, you do want to be keeping that in mind so you can deduct it from your monthly expenses. Also, if you have a single family home, it's not uncommon here to have a caretaker. So you have the caretaker's salary plus perhaps their utilities. If you're paying for their electricity, their water, you're maybe furnishing a place for them to be living there on site. Continue on mortgage. If you do have seller financing, you will want to bear that in mind as you're putting together your pro forma. And then supplies. This could range anything from cleaning supplies to a rake if you have a single family home here, to really a variety of what supplies may be needed in order to get your property rented. It could be linens, it could be towels. And so some supplies are included in rental management fees, others aren't. So again, good time to ask what is included in those rental management fees. And last but not least, corporation fees. If you're putting your property in a Belize 250 company, international business company, an IBC, or however it is that you're structuring it, what annual fees do you have associated with those corporation fees? If you're a US citizen, you will have to complete another form on your taxes for your international business, and you'll have to talk to your accountant about that. So that's another fee to have to bear in mind, is this other form that will need to be filled out for taxes. I know that there's a lot of information here, a lot of fees, a lot of expenses that you'll want to put into your pro forma, but it's really important for you to know these fees prior to you just jumping right in and buying an investment property. It's easy to look at the gross average daily rate to get an idea of what occupancy may be, but when it comes to actually seeing your bottom line, you want to know if you're going to be making money on it or not. I'm never really including appreciation into numbers when I talk about it with my clients. I think that that's just such a random number that may be good, may be higher, maybe lower in the future, but that I don't have a crystal ball to predict appreciation for you, so I don't tend to keep that in there. But I do have a spreadsheet template where if anybody wants a copy of that, just feel free to reach out to us, info@Luna Realty Belize, info@Luna Realty Belize, and I can send you that spreadsheet template where you can just plug and play the numbers. Because we're typically not investment counselors or advisors, we are real estate agents, not necessarily investment counselors, so I can't necessarily look at your portfolio, look at what you have and say, yep, this is a great investment for you. We can help you look at numbers, right? We can help gather that information for you. But if you have that spreadsheet, you can easily plug and play the numbers that you get to see if it's something that makes sense for you. So, all right, if you are new to the real estate market here, feel free to reach out, request a 12 must-know facts before you buy real estate in Belize. We'd love to get this information to you. We think educated buyers are the best buyers there are, and it's important for you to do your homework prior to purchasing property here in country. My name is Rachel Jensen. I look forward to seeing you here in Belize some point soon. And until then, we look forward to hearing from you. Bye, everyone.